Hello, my name is Alexander Barnes, and this is my level T-Town. Today I'm going to be showing you a mechanic I created during this month. This mechanic is an enemy that can detect the player and kill them on contact. I'll first give you an example of what I mean. So when the player sees the enemy, or the enemy sees the player, they'll chase them. And if I go over here, they'll stop chasing because they don't see him anymore. And they'll go and do their own thing. Then if I do the same thing, stop chasing, they'll go and do his own thing until he sees me again. So if I run behind here, he would stop chasing because he doesn't see the player, so he goes back into the roam state. There he is. And then now I'm going to show when the player collides. Okay, this is done by... First thing I created was setting the AI roam. So on the event begin play, it calls the enemy roam. And enemy roam is, it gets itself actor's location, and it's going to move to, AI move to a random point in the radius, which is inside of the volume mesh that I placed into the scene. I'll show you real quick. So in the nav mesh bounds volume, anything inside this, basically the AI can roam and get to. It just finds a random point in the radius and goes to it. Okay, and then the chase player state, I made a custom event called chase player, and this is just moves to, and then the pawn is itself, and then chase player. But this is where the actual code comes into. So the way they actually sense the player is I use pawn sensing. So on C pawn, it will move to, and then the target actor, the pawn, and then basically this right here just sets it back to the enemy roam state if he's done moving to. And then right here, this is where I made the I'll show you in the viewport. So this little box right here, the collision box, so if my player enters that box, then this event would be called. And that's basically, it just casts to my player and then makes it where it disables my movement right when I overlap with that box, and then it shows that death widget, and then it opens level by name, and then you just restart the level basically there. I'm going to also show you one more of my blueprints, and it's my ladder. I'll show you first of what it does in the game. Here it is. You walk up to it, teleports you to the top, and that's it. In here, I just made it where you overlap with a box, collision box, and when you overlap with that box, it casts to your player, and then it just gets your locations and puts it in a new location, and then that new location, I made a variable called TPPOS, which is just the teleport position. So anytime, so I made it a instance editable, so I can be able to edit it into the editor. So if I click on the ladder, this position right here is where the player will teleport when they hit the overlapping box. Super simple. And that's basically my main two mechanics that I implemented this month. Nothing too crazy, just very basic. And then I have some spikes, but I'm not going to show that. Thank you so much.